To understand the origins of this beef, it's important to first look at the pair's come up in the industry and where exactly they initially begun clashing heads. Sean Combs was born in 1969 and he was raised in the grimy streets of Harlem, New York in the 1970s, as he would explain to DJ Vlad in a throwback interview.
I'm a Harlem boy, no disrespect to anybody. That's where my mom was from, that's where my father's from, that's where my father died at, that's where I was born, that's what I represent, that's my swag, that's my tenacity. I just love being from there. That's where my soul comes from. That hustler mentality has a lot to do with why I am.
After the loss of his father Melvin at the age of 2, Sean and his family moved into the suburbs of Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon is a city in Westchester County, New York, in the United States. It's an inner suburb of New York City, immediately to the north of the borough of the Bronx. And Sean credited Mount Vernon for broadening his horizons and introducing him to new cultures and opportunities. In comparison to Harlem, it was a completely different world. Sean attended an all-boys private Montessori school, Mount St. Michael Academy, and he spent the rest of his adolescence in Mount Vernon and took a liking to the performance arts. It was reported that in his teenage years, Sean actually danced in several music videos for big artists like Diana Ross, which would explain his numerous music video antics later on in his career. After high school, he went to Howard University in DC to pursue a business degree, and it was during college that Diddy began gaining a reputation for throwing huge parties. These parties were becoming a key part of Sean's personality, and it was really what made him so popular. Sean and DJ Derek Angeletti became very close after this and began throwing multiple parties every single month. Celebrities even began attending the events, and Sean took advantage of his chance to spread his name, engraving his name and nickname Puff on his business cards. According to the DJ, one party at the Masonic Temple had over 1,500 people in attendance. In 1989, after freshman year in college, he met up with his childhood friend Dwight Myers, aka Heavy D. He was like his mentor through childhood, and he was a known rapper in the scene. In that same year, 1989, Heavy would sign to the record label Uptown Records in New York City. Over summer 1989, Sean went back to New York City and linked up with Heavy D, who later introed Sean to the label owner Andre Harrell, a flamboyant black record executive who famously coined the term ghetto fabulous. The two would allegedly become very close, and that same summer, Diddy was hired as an intern for the label, all still while just being a freshman in college. He must have been doing an impeccable job, and he was swiftly promoted to an A&R executive. At just age 20, Sean was already achieving massive success in the music industry. No one really knew how. By autumn 1992, after the signing of his latest label talent, the Notorious B.I.G., the debut album Ready to Die was due for release, but Uptown's parent company was apparently refusing to release it, saying that the lyrics were far too vulgar. Both Diddy and Biggie were upset and voiced their frustrations, leading Diddy to be fired from Uptown in late 1992. This led Diddy to move into the next year, forming his own record label, the now infamous Bad Boy Entertainment. Diddy had begun building a very impressive lineup at Bad Boy, and in September 1994, the label finally released Biggie's Ready to Die. Ready to Die resonated with hip-hop fans instantly and is considered to be one of the great classic rap albums in history, even scoring perfect reviews by some of music's most respected media outlets. Bad Boy continued their massive success throughout the 90s, becoming one of the biggest labels in rap, curating a vast catalogue of hits and respected albums, with massive artists like Craig Mack, Biggie Smalls, Lil' Kim, The Lox, and many more. And this momentum carried over into the new millennium, cementing Diddy as one of the biggest media moguls the rap game ever saw. And as a celebrity and budding New York socialite, Diddy's profile would continue to grow as he broke into the A-list echelon. Diddy got into a high-profile relationship with Jennifer Lopez, flaunting his new bae and his success on the red carpet at the 2000 Grammy Awards. By the start of the new millennium, Diddy had truly made it, but interestingly, as Diddy had reached the top, he was living the high life as perhaps hip-hop's first true mogul. But unfortunately, in the shadowy gutter of New York's rap scene, a young 50 Cent was grinding and facing some of the hardest situations a man could possibly face.